A viewer sent this email in. Can you please show me what masks are and how they can be used, basic filmmaker style? Absolutely. I don't know what video editor you are using, but you can do all these things I'm going to show you in almost every video editor available. Here's your first 6 examples. In this video, I'm pretending to talk to myself. Here's another video where I pretend to talk back to myself. What I want to do is slice the right half out of the first video, then slice the left half out of the second video, then merge them together so they look like they're all one shot. Here's how you would do that. All right, so let me show you the end result. Dude, can I ask you a question? Sure, what do you need? My question is about lights. Okay, what's your question? It's about color. And? I'm gonna be buying some lights. Okay, what is your question? Did you know about lights? Yes. Here's what's going on. Here's the first shot. What I did was I set up basically a little stand here, added my iPhone up here, and I'm running a script by with both people's dialogues really close to each other. As you'll see, they don't say, dude, I have a question, big long pause, what is it? It's just unnatural and it doesn't move as fast and it just doesn't look good. So here's me recording the left side. Dude, can I ask you a question? My question is about lights. It's about color. I'm going to be buying some lights. Did you know about lights? Then can I ask you? Okay, then basically what I did was the same thing. I took and moved this over here and turned it around. I didn't mess with the lighting and everything else, just doing this to show you. Reran the full script again, and now I'm reading what the guy's saying to me and answering. Here's what happens. Sure, what do you need? Okay, what's your question? And? Okay, what is your question? Yes? Okay, now because I did that, let's collapse this down so you can see these. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to move this footage here directly over this footage here. And it of course is going to cover it up like this. Now I'm lucky because if you look at this sound, because I recorded it the way I did and was listening to myself and responding to myself, these all line up. If you don't do that and you got a lot of weird pauses and stuff like that and you're not reading from something, this gets all messed up. Then you have to make cuts and it just looks really bad. This is the easiest way to do something like this. Let's take a look at how to do this. So in here, this is me, and now I'm on top of me. That's creepy. And what I want to do is I want to reveal this side of footage. So in Premiere Pro, yours may be different. Most editors have this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to draw a mask. And in Premiere Pro, you do it under the opacity thing. Yours may be wherever. After Effects keeps it in different places. It's the same thing. I'm just going to draw a Bezier, or a path, excuse me, bink. I'll correct these points later. I just want to show you what's happening. So what's happened is it said on this layer, the top layer, I'm drawing what part of this I want to see, and outside of that, let everything else come through. Let's move these points. I'll put that point up there. We'll drag this point down here. Just so we reveal the whole thing, we'll drag this point down here. And we'll drag that point up there. You don't have to be too particular in this case. Again, everything was shot, nothing changed. There was no lighting, no shadows. This mask feather over here, I could set it to 0. You're not going to see much in this situation, but this is really helpful. I leave it to the default of 10. It's really helpful if you're merging shots here, and it'll basically feather, like if I went like this. If the shots didn't quite match, it would feather in this side, and then feather in this side, and there'd be a better chance of it matching. But 10's fine. So that's how you do that. Let's take a look. Dude, can I ask you a question? Sure, what do you need? My question is about lights. Okay, what's your question? It's about color. And? I'm going to be buying some lights. Okay, what is your question? Did you know about lights? Yes. Then can I ask you? Easiest way to do this. And that's using basically one mask over here and just making sure the camera's locked down, shooting it and reading. You can see it looks like I'm looking at each other. That's because that's why I put the iPhone on either side like that. And there you go. Here's another example where I wanted to do a test shot for a commercial. It wasn't about lighting or anything else. It was about how do I set up the shot so I can test display what I wanted to. It's easier to show you. So on this example, I just shot some crappy old footage here. I was doing a test for a commercial and, well, let me show you what's happening here. Let me just play this. Hi, I'm Kevin, filmmaker, author, musician, star of the reality show. I haven't made it yet. So what I was trying to do is the following. Let me show you how I originally shot this. I originally shot this just with this screen here with nothing on it. I wanted to be able to replace different web pages, possibly video in here to see what type of effect it would have. So when I did go to shoot the real commercial, I knew what would look good and I knew what would fit in here. Let me show you how to do this. This is also a very easy masking process. So first of all, let's go over here and let's just draw a quick mask. We'll tune this after we do this. Okay, there's my quick mask. Now the thing is in this case, if you look at, let me delete the mask and show you. In this case, really what I want to do is I want to make this transparent and put something below it and leave everything else. So let's undo that and you'll see my mask here. That's not what I got here. So here we invert the mask and we get exactly what we want. This feathering, I'm going to turn it down to 0 because I want to really tailor this. All I do is I just really zoom up on this thing and I start playing with these points because I want to get them precise on where they end up on the monitor screen. So we just drag this side. We'll just throw that there. Drag the bottom corner, maybe throw that there. I think this time I'm going to try leaving a little bit of black border. I didn't do that last time, but I'm going to try it. It may look good, may look terrible, but you'll get the idea. This is not a tutorial on how to make things look awesome. It's a tutorial on what you can do with masks. Put that one up there, that corner up there, and then we'll grab the bottom corner, kind of put it in there. Probably make this a little bit more of a border showing through. I'm pretty much sure I'm not going to like that. And there's my mask. Yep, I'm really sure I don't like that. Let's pull this corner down a little bit. Looks bad. At least we can make it look like there's some sort of bezel here. Yeah, I'm not going to play with this too much, but I do want to show you what's going on. Let's go back to a regular thing. Now I can put anything I want in here. Let's move this up, because remember, here's our see-through area. And let's go in and grab our web page, sample web page. We'll just throw it back there. Obviously, it's that big. We definitely don't want it that big. So we're basically going to scale this thing down. We're going to move it over here like that. We're basically going to have it just about the size that we wanted on this thing. I know I took all the screenshots for these at 1280 by 720 because I know that's a 16:9 screen. Anyway, let me show you what to do. You can do this in many of your editors. I don't know how you do it in many of your editors, but basically I'm going to use a tool called Corner Pin to make this look right. In After Effects, you would use, you'd probably just make it 3D and swivel it and tilt it. Whatever tool you have to move things around in your editor is what you should use. But let me show you what Corner Pin does in here. Let's blow this thing up here. So Corner Pin allows me to take whatever my image is, and it allows me to basically morph it. I'll just stick the corner up there, I'll stick that corner over here. I'll stick the bottom right-hand corner over here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't like that black bezel that I got going on there, but that's okay. And I stick that corner over here. This is not a tutorial on using the corner pin. But what happens is now it has the right angle and it looks right in the scene. Okay, there we go. Now, let's play this.
Hi, I'm Kevin, filmmaker.
I would like, this is really sharp and this footage is terrible actually. I really do think I shot it with an iPhone. I would probably add a blur just to this footage over here. Let's take a look at this. Let's close all this so it doesn't look all scary. Let's say 20. That's too much. I bet you it's 10. Yeah, just a little bit of blur. Maybe it wouldn't be that blurred, but it does put the attention more on the person. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Kevin, filmmaker, author, musician, star.
Now the reason why I did this, I would really clean this up and fix this. The reason why I did this, because I wanted to see what the screen I would put on here before I shoot. I don't want to shoot the commercial with someone here and having everything going and possibly their picture back here. I didn't want to shoot this whole thing and then have the wrong thing in here. So watch this. This is why I did this. Let me grab another web page and just drop it in. Done. Now I have the new web page. Let's go in and drop in another web page. I grab this. This is like the worst web page that was ever designed or something, I think. Replace that web page. That's terrible, of course. I can also go in and I can drop this video clip in here. Let's drop this video clip in here. And then what I have is I have all this. I would never do this.
Hi, I'm Kevin, filmmaker, author, musician.
Too loud. So would I use something like this web page? Nope. I'd probably use this web page. That way I could design the types of things that I'm going to put in here and get that on the screen and shoot it normally without a lot of effort, and I don't have to go back in and replace the screen. That's another way to mask things out. That's another way to do things. You could do that. Leave this TV off, mask in there. You could leave that off. You could do all sorts of things with this. But there's another thing that you can do with masks. And with this one, I wanted to show you in particular on this mask that we basically put a mask and we said we want to see the opposite of the mask. And we want this to be transparent. And that's how you do that.
Here's a simple example of using a mask for an aerial shot.
Okay, here's the next one. And this is really simple. We have this, basically some throwaway footage that was shot. It's basically a panorama. Sorry for the jerkiness. My computer is not liking something else I'm doing in the background. Basically, it's a panorama. It's nice and green, pretty blue sky. This is what we started with. And this is what we ended up with. Really simple to do. Down here, I have my original footage. And notice that this line, this horizon line, is pretty straight. So that allows me to do some really cool things. Let's make a duplicate this. Now I have two, the same copy. I'm going to take the top one, and I am going to just make a mask. Again, I'll play with these points. I usually just throw this thing on here, and then I move the points around. Okay, let's move this point right about here. I'm going to turn off this feather for the moment. Make it 0. Get this guy right about there. This guy right about there. That's the horizon line. And then we'll throw these up out of view. Oh yeah, we better get this guy over here too. Let's put him right about there. Now again, what we've done, let's turn this off, is we've said on the top view, I just want to show this stuff up here. That's all I want to see is I want to see the stuff up top, and I want everything else to be see-through. Okay, I'd say right about there is good. So let's bring that back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add some color to the sky. Let's go down here. Let's just let's run up the saturation a little bit. Maybe we'll make it a little bluer. That's probably a little too much, but for this demonstration, that's fine. Mess with the blue. Okay. Before, after, before, after. Now we notice that this looks really odd because this is kind of dried out and weird. So all we have to do is we just take our bottom shot again. We had something to correct the color to the bottom shot. And let's saturate that a little bit. And let's just green that sucker up. Look at that. Looks pretty good. If you didn't know this was corrected, there's no way you'd go, oh, there's a line there and there's a mask there. Just to finish this off on the top shot, let's just come in here and let's add a bit of feathering to this. Maybe 20, maybe 10. That's fine. And this is what we end up with. It's not bad. It definitely looks better. That definitely looks better than that. You can see all the clouds and the wispy things come through, and this is a lot greener. No one's really going to look at that and go, hey, what did you do? Now, this is not a tutorial on color correction or how to do sky replacement or anything else. I'm just showing you the simple way to use these masks here.
By the way, these masks are used to make really simple vignettes, if you're into those.
Okay, some people like vignettes, some people don't. There are all sorts of opinions on them. This is what a vignette looks like. You're basically adding a little bit of, I call it a gradient black. Sometimes they're used in good use for maybe keeping a point of interest on something. Regardless of whether you like them or not, they're probably one of the easiest things to do using masks. Here's what we do. Here's my original shot that I have, my that panning shot that we did, and it's all been our little color correction thing. So what I want to do is I'm going to come over here. You can add, boy, you can add all sorts of stuff. I'm just adding in some black video. It could be a picture, it could be anything really, and I basically placed the black video on the top of my footage. Now, let's go over here and let's create a mask. This time we're going to create an oval. So let's create an ellipse shape. Now, this is currently saying here's the black. We're going to see this. We're going to let everything else through. Let's first just do something like this. Let's say our vignette is going to be something on the order of this. Now, like we did before, we are saying, let's see this, and then let's let all this go through. What we're going to do is we're going to invert it. Now we have what's going on here, which is we want to see this, and let's let that go through. Now, it's very simple to do a vignette now. All we do is we just yank up this feathering, and we get nice feather. And then we get our vignette. So let's turn it off, turn it on. You can also control that not only with the feather, but the opacity of this layer that's up here, this black video. We can just yank it all the way down and just add as much or as little as we want of this thing. Yeah, maybe right about there. And that's how you will make a very quick vignette around your video.
Next one is a bit more complicated, but everything I've shown you is pretty much the same.
Here we have Santorini Highway. This is in Greece. Nice shot. really pretty, nice sky, people driving by. But I mean, seriously, would you rather go here to go visit, or would you rather go there? That's quite a difference. It doesn't take much to do that. Let me show you what I did to this. Again, this is not a tutorial on color correction. I'm just showing you masks. So first of all, I have my original shot. So I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm going to mask out the sky. All these little guys up here, I'm going to mask it out. Now, as I told you, when I do a mask, I'm pretty simple. I just draw a basic, here's what it's going to look like, something like that down here, 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 here. Let's pull that up here, pull that over here, pull that over here. I'll drag this guy up here, I'll drag this guy up here, and the way I mask is I go right inside of this thing. Let's pull this down to 0. And I just basically zoom up on this thing and I start masking away and adding little points to mask this thing out. So let me show you some of that. I won't do the whole thing, but I'll show you what I do. Let's bring this point down here. Let's add a point there. Let's bring a point. I'm going to bring that in there. Let's add another point here. Bring that up there. Let's another point here somewhere. Maybe right in there. I'm not going to be too particular because this is really blown up. Come down here. Maybe add a point there. Maybe drop this point down here. And then I just keep masking away. Let's bring this point down here. Maybe like that. Pull that down. Let's put a point there. Let's put a point there. Let's bring this over here. Put another point here. Bring that down here. Put another point here. Bring that down here. Start bringing this down. That's so small, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to run this right over here. You're not even going to see that. I'm going to spare you going through and masking this whole thing. But I'll show you what I get when I'm done. Okay, I've basically gone through and I've masked this thing, added my little dots. It didn't take me that long. I go up and around all the little things. I don't get too particular because, again, we're looking at this at 200% right now, and you're not even going to see much of it. Jumps around there and goes down. It looks like a mess. There are certainly easier ways to do something like this. This is about masking, and I'm showing you how to mask. I've isolated this sky on this second layer. Let's take a look at what we got and turn this off. There's our sky. It's going up and around. You can see little pieces of like trees. You won't even see that in the final video. So let's go in again. Let's add some color to this. Let's maybe add a bunch of saturation in there. That's bluer. Maybe pull this a little more bluer over there. And what do we got now? Now we got this nice blue sky sitting there. Look at that. Before, after, before, after. Now this over here, this is kind of dead looking stuff. This is really pretty over here, and I'd like to saturate this some more, maybe pull the colors into a little bit of greens. So again, let's move this up, move this guy up here. Let's make another copy of our bottom layer. And this time we're going to mask out this stuff really simply. Just real simple mask. Let's grab this. Come over here, kind of like this. We'll leave that in there. This over here, this over here. Maybe go there. Close up our mask. I'm not going to do much more than that. I'm just going to adjust these points a little bit. Pull this down. Pull this down. Actually, I should just pull this over here. That's fine.
Let's turn off our feather to see where we're at. Something like that. Again, let's go in, grab our color, put it in here, go over to our color, and let's saturate it. Let's go with, I don't know, 140. That's more saturated. Let's pull it more towards green. Something like that. Now we have highlights over here. We got our skies up here. Now let's take a look at what we have here. Remember, on this one, I basically masked and said, show me the stuff in here. You know, I actually might just add a little bit of feathering to that mask. I think it'll look better. About 10, there we go. I have this over here, show this through here. On this layer, show the sky through here. And then I can do whatever I want to these individually. When I add everything in, that looks a lot better, a lot richer. This is a little dull, so what I'm going to do is go to my original footage, and I am just, again, I'm going to correct the bottom footage. Now, it doesn't matter what I do to the bottom footage. Remember, this layer is on top with this mask here, so you're not going to see any of that. This layer is above that with this mask up here, so you're not going to see any of that. So only this part where I haven't masked is going to show through. So when I go to this bottom layer and I decide I want to do something for it, let me really crank this over and you can see what's happening. Notice how it's only changing the things that aren't masked, right? So what I can do with that, just to make it a little better, I'll add just a bit of saturation of that. I'm going to make it a little blacker. Not too much, maybe like that. I don't know, maybe I'll make it a little bluer because I like these cars that are coming by. They're a little soft. Let me see if I can make this just a tiny bit bluer. Okay, there we go. Nice footage. You can see these people. It's a bit sharper. Nice sky up there. And that is far more appealing than what we have over here. As you can see, it's pretty simple.
You can also do crazy stuff with mirrors. I shot this with an iPhone just to prove it can be done.
Okay, this last one, I just wanted to try it. This is a easy effect to do with a mask. Here's what I did. I shot myself combing my hair. And right about there I stop, shake my head. Then I have the other guy going, what? And then I have him messing up the hair. And then pointing at him, making fun at him. Now, again, this is really easy. These shots, if you plan them out and you understand what you're doing, they're quite easy. If I just go into the middle here, let's chop this guy in half. And let's throw this guy on top. Just like that. Let's run this out a little bit. Okay. Now here's what I'm going to do. Remember, I did the first shot and then I did the next shot, right? So I did the first shot where he's combing his hair. Then he's like, what? Now the other guy is sitting here going, what? And then he goes, ha ha. And then he does his hair up and then he points at him, ha 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 ha. If I simply take that and put it on top and simply do an easy mask, let's mask this guy out. Here, 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 here. Good. Very easy effect. If you really plan it, you could plan it to make sure this guy's a little further away. I would probably, just for fun, up these. Let's up these to about here. Let's up this one to about here. Let's check that out. And that's how you do a quick mirror effect. You can do all sorts of things with this. You can start adding effects and have this guy turn into a monster or disappear, or this guy walk out, or whatever. And that's basically how you do a very quick mirror effect, again, using simple masks.
Now, I didn't touch on quite a bit of material such as animating these masks. You do that, for instance, to blur out license plates on moving cars or people's faces, as well as replacing store signs or the label on an airplane. Although I'll leave that for another video, what I've shown you should be enough of a basic understanding of what masks are, and more importantly, get your brain cells firing on how you can use these to make your video better. I'd love to see what you come up with. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, Mask Man. That's not funny at all. Okay.